actually 5 different angles of silly bitch shit and how you guys behave. And I really want to kind of give you a different perspective on what your behavior is coming across like. Okay, let's talk about number one. You're the wife, and the side chick calls you. Now, I came across a meme that had a little story, like, the side chick calls the wife saying, well, I'm with your dude and he beat my ass because I threatened to tell you about us, but I don't know his last name. And so for me to file charges, I need to know his last name. Okay, so she somehow has snooped around and allegedly has your phone number, and allegedly she's the other woman, and allegedly he beat her ass. Now, I say all those alleges because I was really surprised at the thread that I saw that meme on. Is how many women were responding in an angry, reactionary, overly emotional way to some bitch that they don't even know who it is calling them on the phone. This could have been, some kind of prank from some teenager. You don't know who the fuck the bitch is on the phone. But you gonna get your man shit, throw it all out, and just go through all these conniptions and changes and be flipping out and acting a fool based on the voice of some unknown person on the phone. And I saw that and I'm like, damn, well, black women are so fucking gullible. This just doesn't even make any sense. So, I was like in awe of the dumbness. Okay, first of all, if you have a situation where some woman is calling you up on the phone, you need to find out who it is first. Who is this? And where you know my man from? And where are you calling me? Because see, my thing is this, and I'll go into more explanation as I go through these different scenarios. Some woman, okay, you let's just say you're the wife, because we got a whole different section for the girlfriend. You're the wife, okay, so that means you got papers on this nigga. You got joint credit, you got this and that. So, I mean, he has a lot to lose if he's stupid. But so do you. So, being a divorced woman, being a single parent, that's not fun. So you want to really make sure some shit is like really to the point where it's irreconcilable before you ruin your marriage. Okay, so some woman calling you on the phone, she's not identifying herself. She says that she's his side chick, but you don't have any proof of that. You don't know who she is really. And she's, allegedly fucking your man to the point where she doesn't even know his last name. I mean, wouldn't that raise some question marks in your mind? Wouldn't you be kind of like doubtful and have questions that you would think you need to slow down your responses and get some information before you respond? I mean, am I the only one who thinks like that? Because there's no way in this world I would pick up my phone and some unknown bitch be on the phone telling me some shit like that. First of all, if you dumb enough to sleep with a man and you don't even know his last name, I can't help you. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm not going to help you sacrifice somebody when you're too stupid to get the information that you should have had before you ever pulled your panties off. So, that's your fault. Now, whether he beat you or not, because again, we don't have any proof of that. This is just somebody talking on the phone. All you know is your man ain't never beat on you. So why would you magically think that he's suddenly going to start pounding on some other woman when everybody knows domestic violence charges will land your ass straight in jail? I mean, that's not something that most men with good sense would start suddenly doing. The bottom line is, in a situation like that, if you're the wife and some chick calls you, handle your shit with finesse. Ask questions, get answers from her, and then you sit down with your nigga and you talk about the situation. Because there's a lot of women who want to run games and like they want you out the way, right? They may not have ever touched your man. He might just be friendly with him, at work or school, or he's their student. I mean, you don't know what the situation is. And she's calling you to try to get you two to break up. And you can't just react off of a voice on the phone. That makes no damn sense. I just can't believe I couldn't. I mean, there was really like over 100 responses in this thread, and the majority of the women who responded were mostly reactionary. And I'm gonna pack his shit. I'm gonna throw his shit out. Blah blah blah. And I'm thinking, God, you guys are dumb as all fuck. So it's not to say that you might find out that what happened was true and then you have a decision to make. But what I am saying to you is that you take charge of your marriage, you take charge of yourself, and you do not allow some unknown entity on the telephone to send you in a tailspin and destroy some shit that you've been spending years building. You need more evidence than that. Okay? You need to have solid proof. Okay, so that's number one. That's the silly meme that's up on the screen. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is when the side chick calls you the alleged side chick. Point number, excuse me, number two. Okay, so you're a woman and you kicking it with this dude, and you find out that he is either about to be married, is engaged. I mean, something is up. He's not anybody's husband yet, so technically he's still single. But there is a significant other in his life, and you find out that you are second to her. What do you do? If that is your situation, should you pick up the phone and call the number one woman who's the fiance, baby mama he's living with, woman he's about to marry this weekend, whatever? Is that something that you should do? Unfortunately, the majority of women think that that they feel like they're doing something good, that's the sisterhood, that she needs to know what kind of man she's dealing with, and all this old stuff, all these justifications you jump around and come up with in your head to go and get involved in somebody else's relationship and stir up some shit. That's essentially what you're doing. You try to make it sound good, like you trying to save somebody from a fate worse than death and their cheating man and stuff. It's mind your goddamn business. It's not your business. You find out that you the side chick in the situation, you need to stay in your fucking envelope. Your envelope needs to be sealed up, and you need to keep your mouth the goddamn same way. It's not your business what he does with his woman. Okay, you found out that you ain't his woman, then shut up, just go away, lick your wounds, and just go crawl back into the hole that you came from. It's not your concern what his woman knows about him. That's her job. Okay, and now it's especially bad when you want to be all irate and all flipping out and everything. Maybe you didn't know that he was he had this situation going when you first started dealing with him. That happens a lot, and I will give you that. But once you do know, because shit don't start adding up, he's not too unavailable. I mean, you start seeing some signs that there's something going on, and then you investigate a little bit and you find out the truth. Okay, now this is where it gets interesting. You have a choice right there to either, excuse me, either stop dealing with him or to keep dealing with him. Now, if you stop dealing with him, it's still not your business to tell, because you don't want to got fooled. Okay, it's just, so don't go running tattling to the main number one woman because you feel you mad because your feelings are all hurt. If you do decide to stay dealing with him, then again, it's still not your business to tell the other woman, because you are infringing on her shit with knowledge that that's what you're doing. So keep your silly bitch shit to yourself. Keep your mouth closed. It's not your concern. God, why am I coughing? All right, now let me, just to kind of reiterate, I found this letter online this chick wrote. This was to a different advice columnist. And this lady says, she was dealing with this guy. She had known him in high school, and they kind of reconnected over social media. And she found out in the most random way on her Facebook page that he also used, because he didn't, want to have his own, that he was engaged to somebody else. And she said, she kind of had like a breakdown or whatever. And that he never said anything. She never told him what she found out. And they continued to see each other. So she's finally over it and she's moved on and whatever. But now she's like, well, should I tell the woman who's now his wife that we had an affair while they were engaged and when they first got married? Should I tell her? And that she wished she had found out sooner. She wished she hadn't wasted so much time and energy on this man, all this stuff. And I'm sitting there looking like, why would you want to be wishing that you had found out sooner? Because even when you did, you didn't do shit about it. So bitch, shut up. Stop fucking lying. And so then she's like, well, you know, um, I was devastated. He really hurt me and blah, blah, blah. And I don't want to hurt her. I'm not even trying to hurt him. I just want to be done with it. And if I should tell, if you think I should tell her, if I should, then how do I do it? Now, this advice columnist told her that she owes this wife, um, some kind of story. And I disagree completely because, number one, you got to understand if someone is, if the guy has a reputation for being, she already knew that the possibility was that he was a cheater. She may have even known about you. You don't know. The second thing is, whatever her motives are for wanting to tell, and I'm thinking most likely that because she'll leave him and he'll be free and then she can get him. You really have no business calling a wife because she doesn't give a shit. You're in the past. I mean, why are you telling her about some shit that happened before she even got married to dude? And then, I guess when they first got married. But it's in the past. You admit that the shit is over. So, I mean, what's the problem? I mean, why are you bringing up old news that we both moved past? And I just don't understand why women think that, they're going to go run a tattle to the wife and that something's going to happen bad to the dude. What's going to happen is they're going to pull up ranks and the one who's going to be getting the problem is going to be you. So, especially if his wife is crazy and she got crazy relatives and friends, your ass could get jumped, your house burnt down, your car burnt up. I mean, all kind of shit because you opened up an envelope that you had no business getting in the first place. Some of these women are crazy. So you need to leave them alone. The shit, you made a mistake, you fucked up, you did some shit you shouldn't have done. Keep it to your damn self and move on. That's your best bet because you never really understand who you're messing with when you start picking up the phone, calling people, trying to tattletale about some shit about what they nigga did. See, that shit could get your ass killed. I know a woman who did. The wife, and she wasn't even really cheating with the dude. He just took her to lunch as a new employee at the firm. But the wife found out about it, got rolled up her posse, took the girl, abducted her, took her out to the shipyards, threw gasoline on her ass and set her on fire. So you know what I mean? You don't really know who you're dealing with. You need to keep your mouth closed and hope that he doesn't tell what happened. That's what you need to do. Okay, now let's talk about number 3. If you're the wife and you decide to approach the side chick because you mad, you found out your man is cheating, and you gonna go handle this shit. You gonna do it. Again, you don't know who you're dealing with. Some of these bitches are crazy. You gonna go up to some woman popping off at the mouth, your ass is likely to end up stabbed and shot or dead. You need to stay in your envelope. You the one with the nigga. Stay at your house with your kids and keep your mouth shut. That's what you need to do. You rolling up on some woman, she might be mad too because, dude lied to her. So here it is, 2 dumb bitches fighting over some nigga who really is just dogging out both of you. What would you do that for? Why would you even think that was a smart thing to do? And some of y'all be coming in, you gonna show up at the other woman's house, dragging your kids and crying, talking about, this is my family, this and that. You're lucky she don't go in her kitchen and throw hot water on you and your kids. Because see, you came to her house with some bullshit. And you shouldn't have done that. That's not your issue. You have an issue with your nigga cheating on you. You talk to your nigga. That's what you need to do. You don't go to some other woman's house getting up in her face about your man tipping out on you. That's between you and your nigga. That's where shit needs to be handled at your house. Okay? So don't do that. That put you in the silly bitch shit category, and you rolling up on some woman talking about a nigga and that's my man and all of those stuff. Man, I wish some bitch would do some shit like that to me. I would hurt her feelings so bad. All right, and then now let's talk about number 4. You are neither the wife, neither the girlfriend, and neither the side chick. But some shit's going on, and you want to put your big ass nose all up in the mix. Again, And these things, you see these scenarios all over the internet, and people that I know that talk about this stuff. I think I should tell her. That's my friend. That's my coworker. That's my soror. That's my cousin. That's my this and that. It's like you never know how people's relationship. Before the woman knows that that's what's happening. You don't know what the situation is in somebody else's relationship. So you keep your big mouth shut. Stay out of it. And you didn't see nothing, you don't know nothing, and you just let, their situation work itself out. Not only that, just because you see a man with a woman, unless he got his tongue down her throat or his hand down her pants, or something like that, you don't know who the woman is or what the relationship is. That could be his coworker. It could be a female relative. It could be somebody he knew from elementary school that rolled through town and they have a lunch together or dinner just to catch up. You don't know what it is that you're seeing, and that's why you need to stay your big mouth out of the situation before you put your own spin on it based on your own personal judgments and prejudices or whatever. You be fucking up somebody's relationship based on your imagination. And that is why I say, unless you have some absolute facts and you are very close to that person, like it's your mama or your sister or something, you don't say shit because it's not your concern. You ain't in the relationship with them. You ain't the wife. You ain't the girlfriend. You ain't the baby mama. You ain't nobody. You just putting your nose in somebody else's business where you have no need to be. Now, and please don't think that men will escape this, because men can be full of silly bitch shit too. I had a situation with one of my man's frat brothers. This dude, I met him at one of the parties a frat had, and dude was like all over me, and I was like avoiding him. He was just ridiculous. He was so blatant, like just like all up in my face, chasing me around the room and stuff. It was crazy that whole evening. He just found really like a lot of excuses to be where I was, and then if my man got up to get me a drink or to socialize with some of the other frat or whatever, dude would make his way over to where I was. It was very uncomfortable. Okay, so then I don't know, a week or so later, no, actually that's right. Okay, so it was the next weekend. And we had been talking about, because they were having another event in LA, and my brother lives in LA, one of my brothers. So I went down with him, and went down to visit my brother, and I stayed at their house and everything. And the event took place. Well, this guy, it turned out, was a pilot, and he had access to a little plane. He's asked me, did I want to go on a plane ride? And so I'm like, oh, that might be fun. So we showed up at the airport, right? It was me, my brother, and my niece. Dude was mad because he thought it was just going to be me and him going, right? So he had an attitude the whole time on the flight. So what he had done, though, was to try to start some shit in my relationship, was he had called back up to Northern California and was telling people that I was meeting him and I was going to be going on this plane with him out to Catalina Island for lunch, and we was going to be doing all the stuff and everything. So he was making it sound like, I was two-timing my dude. Well, that backfired on him because, I was with my brother and my niece and we took pictures. But what happened was, since, he has kind of spread that rumor, my dude, had his lip all poked out and was all believing it and shit with no proof, hadn't asked me nothing, but he was all in his feelings and all mad based on what this nigga, one of his frat brothers had told him that I had done, right? And I remember losing a lot of respect for him. And we recovered from it, you know what I mean? But in that moment, I couldn't stand his ass because I was like, I'm so disgusted with you right now. It's like, you have been in a relationship with me for all this time and you know what kind of person I am. So for you to magically think I'm going to meet this nigga last weekend and now I'm going to cheat on you with him, and he's not cute, he's not smart, he's stupid, and he's pudgy. That's not, girl, I'm just telling you, my nigga was fine, okay? Smart as hell, and I really liked him. So it's like, why would I fuck that up over somebody like this who didn't even, he wasn't even 50% of my dude. And I'm like, this is amazing. And it just kind of let me know how much certain people will listen to outsiders when it comes to their relationship, and that was very disturbing. And that's why I'm cautioning you ladies not to jump to conclusions based on what you hear. I was a personal victim of that kind of stuff. And I'm telling you, there are people who will try to do, lay eggs and, bombs and do shit to be divisive in the relationship because they want to get at your partner. They want you out the way. So before you jump off and start, believing everything that you hear, you need to do some investigation work because you just don't know. I remember reading something on Facebook the other day about some woman called up this lady and was telling her that she had had an affair with her husband and that they have a kid together. The husband swore up and down he'd never touched a woman. He didn't even know what she was talking about. So in the meantime, they set up a paternity test. Right now, the wife is upset, but she's not going to really make any judgments until this paternity test is done. And the man swearing up and down he never touched a woman. Okay, so the lady did not show up with the child for the date of the paternity test, and she kind of disappeared. Then it's like she's coming back around, and now she's spreading rumors to the woman's children that this is introducing her daughter, saying, "Oh, this is your half sister, this and that, and blah blah blah." So the wife was, like, "What are we supposed to do about it?" I'm thinking you're supposed to beat that bitch's ass, and then you file a restraining order on her, so that if she does any shit like that again, because see, my thing is this. Adult shit is one thing, but when you start trying to mess with my kids' minds, all the kid gloves come off, and I'm going after your jugular vein, and I'm gonna fuck you up because now you got my kids upset. See, any kind of political, niceties and politeness and all that shit that I was giving your dumb ass, that shit is gone up in smoke, and now I'm coming after you. I'm gonna come after you, and I'm gonna make you pay. And Steve, I'm not the one, because I'm extremely vindictive, and I will get your ass if it's the last thing I do. So there would be no reason any woman in good sense would come at me like that and fuck with my daughter, because I will hurt you. So this lady, she's trying to figure out what to do about it, and that was my suggestion. First beat her ass, and then get you an attorney. That's what you do in that order. So I don't know what she's going to do. She might just go get the attorney, and that's probably fine. But I know that's not what I would do. Okay, so that's one of the things about men and how they do the silly bitch shit game, because they want to get at you. So what are some of the ways that men do? Let me give you a little bit more examples, because this information is good not only for you women that have male friends, but for your buddies' friends, that your man's buddies rather, who are interested in you, because they just be a little bit too smiley, they be a little bit too nice, they be a little bit too complimentary. You know what I'm talking about? They just be a little bit too much, too extra up in your face. And it's not to the point where you can really call them on it, but it's making you uncomfortable and you're aware of it. Those are the ones that usually pull this kind of shit that I'm ready to tell you about. Number one, they will lie. Is trying to make you, they want to humiliate you, embarrass you, and make it seem like you'd be lucky to have anybody, which of course is settling for them. Or they will lie and say, well, I heard that she was fucking with so and so and such and such. Some vague second level generation friend of theirs down the line that your man don't really know. So he's not going to be able to go up to her and question him. It's just this vague, I heard shit. So niggas who believe that, you need to look at them sideways, because he got some issues. He gonna believe some stray miscellaneous nigga who didn't give him any facts at all, just some kind of illusionary fantasies and insinuations about your character and what you've done with your coochie, and he gonna react to it and cause problems in your relationship. So that's not what I call a real man. That's a punk bitch boy, and he cares more about what some nigga says than what he does about his own relationship. I would get rid of him. Number three, he gonna lie and say that you tried to get at him, when in reality it was the other way around. That's why if you have you notice that your man's friends kind of, getting a little bit too friendly, You need to distance yourself from that situation, and you need to draw your dude's attention to it. Say, I'm not real comfortable around your friend because he be doing a little bit too much, and it's making me uncomfortable. It's like, is he supposed to like be liking me or something? What's going on with that? And just give him to drop the ball and let him handle it from there. That's his friend. But let him know if it's any situation where it's gonna be like this dude trying to come over to your house and it's just gonna be you there waiting for your man, or anything, a situation like that. Make sure he understands that's not gonna happen and you're not comfortable with that, and need to make sure that does not occur. Or he's gonna lie and say that you were with him, that you all dated before, he took you out, or he, some kind of way that he had some kind of claim on you before your current dude. And see, that's gonna make your man's mind get all flipped around. He's gonna be imagining you in the throes of passion with this dude and all this stuff, and that's gonna fuck him up, because then he's gonna be wondering around, who else you mess with and all this stuff. But see, it's this mind game. It's all involved. It's all designed to make your man insecure about you, so that you guys will break up and dude will feel like he has a chance. That's his game. He might say, lie and say, well, oh man, I could have swore, I was at the club last weekend and I seen your girl, there with this dude, and if it happens to be a situation where you were away from home that evening, you might have a problem. Now, if you were at home, then your man's going to, of course, say, nah, man, that wasn't her because she was with me. And dude would, have a big red fail on his little game that he tried to run. But if you weren't at home for any reason, and this dude knew it, because like maybe he called up and, checking on your buddy, and your buddy, oh, yeah, man, I'm at home by myself, blah, blah, blah. Well, see, then now he knows his lie can work. And it will, he will cause some problems with his insinuations and illusions that he created to cause doubt in your relationship. So these are some of the issues that I've noticed with the what I call a silly bitch shit. Y'all be doing too much. It's just like, hold your head up high. If your man is cheating, just make a decision about what you're going to do with it. Y'all going to go to counseling. You want to try to save your marriage. If, you're going to try to work it out. You guys have got problems. You both know you got problems. Or is this something that came out of left field? You thought you guys had a happy marriage. You're confused and hurt. Whatever is the situation, deal with what is between the two of you. Do not let some third party, excuse me, influence what you do in your relationship. All right? God, I'm just like coughing. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Anyway, my name is Deborrah Cooper. I'm the advice columnist on survivingdating.com and askheartbeat.com. Try to come out with, at least 2-3 videos a week lately. I'm a lot busier than I was a month or so ago, so I can't do it every day like I was doing. But I will make these videos as quickly as possible. What we got coming up, I'm going to be talking about sisters that date convicts, and recently released convicts. And I'm going to be talking about self-esteem. And I'm going to be talking about, I forgot what else I was going to talk about. But anyway, those are some of the things that are on deck for this week. Hope to see you guys again very soon. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.